This is the story of a man whose life has been robbed from him and now living in his personal hell for the crime he never committed.
Please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell para ma-notify kayo sa susunod kong video.
On July 31, 1976, a man picking blackberries discovered the partially clad body of 15-year-old Deanne Catherine Long in the woods near her home in Indiana County, Pennsylvania. An autopsy revealed that Long had been raped and shot once in the back of the head, not at close range, suggesting she may have been trying to flee when killed. The victim was last seen the previous afternoon when, as she was walking home, a blue car stopped and she got in. Long's younger sister, Lola, told police that Long got in the car after the driver said that Long's brother had been in a car wreck nearby. Long's older sister, Patty, as well as Patty's friend, Patty Liddick, told police that they were out and by the time they got to the house, Long was already gone. The driver of the car was described by Long's sister, Lola, as a man with black hair, a heavy mustache, straight sideburns that came down just below his ears, between 20 and 30 years old. Police publicized a composite sketch based on that description. On August 3, 1976, a man told police that Earl Elderkin, who lived nearby, resembled the composite sketch. The police questioned Elderkin, but he denied involvement in the crime. Questioned again a week later, Elderkin gave police the name of a suspect whom Elderkin believed resembled the composite sketch, but the investigation stalled and no one was arrested. Nearly a year later, on July 2, 1977, police questioned Elderkin a third time. This time, he said that he went to a party on the day of the murder and was high on drugs, but remembered parts of the evening, including a girl being in the backseat of a car he was riding in. He said he remembered that at some point, he looked out of the windshield and saw a girl running, and that he then heard a shot and saw the girl fall to the ground. Elderkin identified the gunman as Larry Woolover, but police did not believe him and Woolover was never charged. The crime went unsolved for nearly 4 years. In February 1981, police learned that Elderkin had attempted to admit himself to a psychiatric facility, saying he was experiencing recurring dreams about the murder. On February 22, 1981, Elderkin gave yet another statement about the crime, saying that a man named John Lynch had held the victim down while another man named Joe Riseski raped her. Elderkin said Riseski grabbed a rifle from the car and shot 3 times at Long, striking her in the head with the final shot. On March 16, 1981, the case took a dramatic turn when a college professor who was an amateur hypnotist with no formal training hypnotized Elderkin. During this session, Elderkin, in his 5th different statement about the killing, said that he left a party in a car with 28-year-old Louis Fogel and Fogel's brother, Dennis. Elderkin said he was feeling ill from the effects of a day-long drinking binge and recalled that the Fogel brothers drove to the victim's house, picked her up and drove to the woods. Elderkin said that Louis Fogel raped the victim on the front seat of the car and then his brother raped her as well. Elderkin said that after the victim said she would report the rapes to police, Louis Fogel got a rifle from under the front seat and fired 3 times, striking Long in the back of the head. Police then re-interviewed the victim's sisters and the friend, Patty Liddick. Lola maintained her original story that she saw Long get in the car with the man. But Long's older sister, Patty, and the friend, Patty Liddick, changed their statements to dovetail with Elderkin's statement. They now said they were home and so was Long when she got picked up by 3 men, in contrast to their statements 5 years earlier when they said Long was already gone when they got home. Long's sister, Patty also now said that the Long came home and they had a dinner of spaghetti and meatballs with salad before leaving with the 3 men, although the autopsy showed no such food in the victim's stomach. On March 19, 1981, police picked up Dennis Fogel and questioned him, and eventually obtained a confession that matched Eldekin's statement almost exactly. As a result, Louis Fogel was arrested, as were Lynch and Riseski. All were charged with murder and rape. Fogel's physical appearance at the time of the crime, verified through photographs, differed greatly from the original description. He had red hair, not black, and he had a full beard, not just a mustache. By the time Louis Fogel went to trial in Indiana County Court of Common Pleas in February 1982, 3 men who were in the jail with Fogel had come forward to testify that Fogel confessed to the rape and murder. There was no forensic or physical evidence linking Fogel to the crime. The trial judge excluded Eldekin's statement from evidence because the hypnotist who obtained it was untrained, made no written record of information given to him by the police prior to the session, made no record of what Eldekin remembered before he was hypnotized, and the session itself was not recorded. The judge noted that Eldekin had given inconsistent statements over the years and was a patient in a psychiatric ward. The judge also noted that after Eldekin's hypnotic statement, statements by other witnesses began to shift to support Eldekin's new version, suggesting that those witnesses were being coached or coerced. Fogel denied any involvement in the crime and said he spent the day with his parents and his brother, until 10 p.m. when they went to a bar. Fogel's parents testified and supported his testimony. Patty Liddick admitted she had changed her version of events so that it agreed with Eldekin's last statement. She said she changed her statement because the state police pressured me and I wanted to go home. They told me that's the way it was supposed to be. On February 26, 1982, the jury convicted Fogel of second-degree murder and rape. Fogel, who had been married for 3 months before he was arrested, was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The prosecution later dismissed the charges against Dennis Fogel, Lynch and Riseski for insufficient evidence. Fogel's appeals were denied, as were numerous state and federal petitions for a writ of habeas corpus. In 2003, a motion for DNA testing was filed and it was denied in 2006 after the prosecution opposed it. In 2008, the Innocence Project and the Pennsylvania Innocence Project began investigating the case and requested DNA testing of the physical evidence in the case. In February 2010, Fogel's lawyers and the Indiana County District Attorney's Office agreed to begin DNA testing. But tests on vaginal, anal and oral slides collected from the victim were inconclusive. In 2014, a search for new evidence for possible DNA testing located 12 additional items, including the victim's pubic hair combings. In the spring of 2015, sperm cells were identified and testing revealed the DNA profile of an unknown male that was not Louis Fogel's. In August 2015, the prosecution joined with lawyers for Fogel in a motion to vacate Fogel's convictions. On August 13, 2015, the motion was granted and Fogel was released on bond. Fogel was greeted by his wife, Deb, who had staunchly supported his innocence for more than 34 years. On September 14, 2015, the prosecution dismissed the charges. In February 2017, Fogel filed a federal civil rights lawsuit seeking damages. But Fogel told Channel 11 his life has been robbed from him and he's living in his own personal hell. Most of the time I just feel like I'm back in prison. Life is not my own, Fogel said. I try to get a job, try to find housing and I'm turned down every time. Even my right of being a father were taken from me. When Fogel was wrongfully convicted in the rape and murder of Kathy Long, he was a newlywed. His son was only 7 months old. I had what I wanted in life and in a snap of the fingers, it was all gone, he said. A lot of them I tried writing to and just never heard back from them. The law said I did it, so I had to have done it. Fogel told Channel 11 there were failures at every step that led to his fate. There was no evidence against him when he went on trial at the Indiana County Courthouse in 1982. The prosecution's case relied solely on testimony from inmates and a man who had been hypnotized after being in a psychiatric hospital. Now, Fogel is suing 17 people associated with his case, alleging his civil rights were violated. They'll falsify evidence, witnesses, change the events of the crime, even pay witnesses to lie just to wrest a conviction, Fogel said. I think the criminal justice system is broken and it needs to be redone. It wasn't until decades later that Fogel, with the help of the Innocence Project, found DNA nobody knew about, the evidence that exonerated him. There were times I didn't think I was going to survive. I thought about ending it. One thing kept me from it. If I ended it, they would have won, he said. Fogel is thinking about taking the bar exam and becoming a lawyer, to help other people with nowhere else to turn. He's even helped several other people overturn convictions. Channel 11 contacted the Indiana County District Attorney's Office, Indiana County and Pennsylvania State Police, all of which are named in Fogel's lawsuit. The Indiana County District Attorney's Office and Pennsylvania State Police both said they couldn't comment on pending litigation. Kathy Long's killer has never been found. Having already served 34 years for murder and sexual assault conviction, a man has a chance at freedom with DNA testing. This is the story of the man who fought for justice for 34 years.
Please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell para ma-notify kayo sa susunod kong video.